In this tutorial, we're gonna make these realistic ice cubes in Blender. So let's open over into Blender and let's get started. First, let's model the glass. So let's add a cylinder, skeleton z-axis, shade smooth. So we see some artifacts here. So go to the object data properties, normals and auto smooth. Select this face and delete it. Go to modifiers and add solidify. Increase the thickness and apply the modifier. Then add subdivision surface modifier. Press Ctrl 2 to add two subdivisions. Add an edge loop here. Bring it down. Select this face. Press I to insert the face. Add another edge loop here. Bring it up. Add another in between here and scale it up. So there will be some bump here. It's your wish. I want it to be like this. So I'm adding another edge loop here for tightening this edge. Okay. Now the inner part. Add another edge loop here and bring it down. Select this face. Press I to insert it. Grab it on Z axis. Now it's time to add materials to our model. So for the lighting, I'm using HDRI. It's from HDRI Haven. So I'm using this one. I'm rendering it in cycles. Add a plane as a reference. Something reference to the table. Okay. Now add a camera. Press Ctrl plus Alt plus 0 to snap your camera to the view and adjust your camera. Now go to shading tab. Add a principal BSDF shader. Rename it. Give it a white color. Turn on the roughness to 0 and the transmission value to 1. So there will be condensation here. So for the roughness, I am adding a noise texture. Press Ctrl T to add a mapping node and texture coordinate node. Then connect the factor to the roughness and object to the vector. Decrease the scale. Now we need to add color ramp. Bring it here. This looks nice. Something like this. So if you see here, it will look more realistic. So play with your settings. Play with your detail and roughness and distortion. It's your wish. Okay, this is fine. This is fine for me. Now it's time to add droplets. So let's add a new UV sphere, shade smooth. Select this vertex, press O to turn on proportional editing, scale it down. Scale it on y-axis. Now it looks like some water droplet. Now let's add particle system, particles and hair. We don't want our particles, our water droplets to be inside. We want it on the surface. So go to weight paint mode and paint it. Then come down in the vertex group, in density select this group. Now go to object mode and here in render as an object, select this one. If you don't want it in an area, you can paint it down. Okay. Now we don't want our particles like this. So in the source, in the emission, go to source. In the distribution, random, and decrease the scale. We don't want 1000 particles here. Now let's go to render view and let's see. Okay, maybe like 50 or 100, it's enough. Let's see 100. Increase the scale and scale randomness. In render, go to object and turn on object rotation. Go to edit mode, grab it on y-axis. Oops. Rotate it on y-axis, x-axis by 90 minus. Okay. Now we have droplets. Go to render view and let's see how it looks. So for this droplets also, let's give the same material. No, droplets will be very clear. So let's add a glass BSDF, or in the principal BSDF, just decrease the roughness and increase the transmission. Okay, this looks nice. Now it's time to add cubes to our scene. Let's add a cube. Grab it on z-axis. Press R twice to rotate it on one axis. Scale it down. Scale it down a little bit. Come to wireframe mode. Bring it down. Scale it down a little bit. And hide this. Go to edit mode. Subdivide it by 10 times. Shade smooth. Now add a subdivision surface modifier and displace modifier. In the displace modifier, select clouds and play with it. Something like this is nice. Don't worry, you can, if you decrease the strength here, it will be okay. Play with these settings. Okay. Then press Shift D to duplicate it, grab it on Z axis, rotate it. Make sure it don't intersect with the other cube. Duplicate again and bring it up, rotate it, then unhide it. So we need to move a little bit. Let's see how it looks. Grab it on Z axis. So for the cubes also, let's give the glass material. Now this looks nice. Now for the plane, I'm adding a wood texture. So for the plane, I'm adding a wood texture. I'm adding this one. The object. Now it looks much realistic. Now let's render it out.